We are at war. This time it's not between Russia and Ukraine, but between the United States and India. The accusation that India is helping Russia continue its war by buying oil. Yes, you heard that right. A top US aide, United States President Donald Trump said we are talking about, just made that claim on live television. The man behind the statement is Stephen Miller, one of Trump's closest and most powerful advisors. He's not just any spokesperson. He is shaping Trump's policies from behind the scenes for years. And now he's pointing straight at New Delhi. In a very fiery interview, Miller said this: India is financing Russia's war in Ukraine by continuing to buy its oil. Yes, according to him, this isn't just about trade or business. He says it's about morality, about choosing sides in a global conflict. And he added that Trump has been very clear with the Indian leaders. This is not acceptable. But let's unpack this. Why is the US suddenly so upset about India buying Russian oil? Here's a background. Ever since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the West has slapped Russia with harsh sanctions. No banking, no trade, and specifically no oil sales to the US and Europe. You know what's the goal here is? Cut off Russian money and force it to stop the war. But then there is India. India didn't join the Western sanctions, and why would we? Instead, India saw an opportunity, discounted Russian oil. While European nations were scrambling to replace Russian energy, India quietly boosted its import, buying millions of barrels of oil at bargain rate. And from India's side, it makes perfect sense. With population of over 1.4 billion people and rising energy demands, cheaper oil kinda helps keep inflation in check and economy growing. But Washington isn't pleased, specifically Donald Trump's team, which wants to show strength and leadership. So now, voices like Miller are turning up the pressure. But wait, here's the twist. India isn't breaking any international law. It hasn't signed any sanction agreement against Russia. In fact, India has always maintained a very neutral stance in the war. It calls for peace, yes, we do, but refuses to pick any side. And historically, India and Russia has been very close allies, specifically on defense. So here's what's happening. Donald Trump is punishing India with trade sanctions or tariffs, at least what he says. The question is, will Washington demand that India choose sides? India choose between Russia and the West? Or is this just a political noise meant for American voters? One thing is clear, India is walking a very tight rope. On one hand, it needs Russian oil and weapons. On the other side, it wants stronger ties with the US, specifically in the Indo-Pacific region where China is rising fast. And now, with Trump's camp firing shots, India may be soon asked to take a tough choice. So we ask, is India just doing smart business during a crisis? Or is it, as Trump's aide claims, helping fund a brutal war? The answer, like always, depends on which side of story you believe.